Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading for Cancer for the month of October 2025. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 9 of Wands. This is strength. This is an inner strength. This is a resolve. This is a resilience. I feel like you're somebody who has a very deep connection with your sense of purpose. I feel like you're not someone that would break a promise too easily. You have a real stability in you. When you commit to something, I feel like you're dedicated. Okay, and I feel like this is the month for you to hold firm. Despite pressures, despite being tired, stay the course, okay? October is going to be maybe a month of some temptations or some challenges or some opportunities for you to break a promise. And I think it's it's a test of your ability to bend and be flexible and be creative, but to hold firm to your commitments this month. Okay, this is a stability through changes that are taking place around you. In some ways, for some of you, this is going to be a matter of as your life starts to change and grow and improve, don't lose sight of your core. Don't lose who you are. Okay, through the changes of life. Now, we need some context with this card, of course. So let's use our Dove and Serpent spread. We have the Hermit. We have the Universe. We have the Prince of Pentacles. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have a 5 of Pentacles. We have the Temperance card, a 10 of Wands. We have an 8 of Cups. And we have a 3 of Swords there at the end. We're going to select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right over here with our little sea turtle friend right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will, tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments below the video. Now, as we look around the room, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards, especially this central pillar here. This is really a wonderful kind of, I think a spiritual growth. I think this is, this month is going to see a lot of spiritual activity for you, a lot of growth taking place. We've got fire and fire. Okay, we've got, just a little bit of the water and a little bit of the air. And then we've got our earth and our earth cards. Okay, so that 9 of Swords, right, the resilience, the ability to bounce back, the ability to be flexible. I think that for October, Cancer, you're being told to be very strong and firm. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't lose sight of what you're doing. Stay firm, okay? You also have this Hermit energy, okay? I think what's going to help you to stay firm and solid and committed and really push is going to be, a little bit of solitude. It's going to be a month of kind of just relying on yourself and wearing that cloak of invisibility, okay? That's saying, I'm not going to be too affected by the things going on around me. I feel that there are a lot of changes that are happening in your life, or there will be. Towards the end of the month is going to be kind of busy, I think, right? It feels like it. And it's kind of a month of you just keeping your head down, and keeping yourself committed to what you're doing. There's wisdom here. There's an inner guidance. Okay. It's a week for, or a month, I should say. It's a good month for withdrawing from too much external activity. Let's say socializing, right? It's a good time for reflection. It's a good time for kind of like reconnecting with that sense of purpose, to understand why you're doing the things in life that you're really doing, okay? And this is kind of like blocking out the opinions of others, not trying to hear what everybody else has to say. Like if you're looking for answers, if you're looking to connect with that purpose again, or to be reminded of what that is, you're doing that in silence, okay? So a little bit of solitude in October, Cancer, is going to be good for you, because it's going to allow you to regain your strength. Sometimes the 9 of Wands literally is just like physical strength, okay? And it may be saying that, last month you did too much. You got to rest. You got to regain your energy. You've got to go a little hermit mode so you can recharge your batteries. Recharge October is kind of the theme here for you. And I think that it's also a good time to reflect on progress that you've already made. It's a good time for you to recommit to things, to restate the oath, or to renew the vow, right, of your life. And I think the Hermit is in a good position to do that. It might even be a good month for you to kind of focus more on your spiritual work, recommit yourself to the things in your life that are important to you. And if you lost sight of what those are, go within and find them again. It's a magical retirement. It is a fortress of solitude. It is a hermit mode to rest and recuperate and regain your vitality. Maybe you've been feeling, maybe the 9 of Swords is saying that like you've been feeling a little bit run down, a little bit weak lately. That is perfectly fine. I think that this means, listen to your body and go and recharge some of that energy. Take a step back from all the heavy lifting that you've been doing. Yeah. Take a step back from some of that. But under the surface, what you have here in your heart is this desire for completion, for fulfillment, for mastery, right? And so I think that like kind of what you want really is like you want closure. You want things to reach their culmination. You want this achievement. Yeah. And I mean, just look at the context we have here. We have the builder who now might be feeling a waning of their strength. Okay? That they're starting to bend a little too much here, or starting to get a little bit diminished in vitality. But you really want to reach your goal. The builder wants to build the universe. But the Hermit is kind of saying like, I might need a little bit of a timeout. I may need to either reduce some things that are pulling my energy out, other things that might be stealing your resources, so that you can have more resources to accomplish the goal, whatever the goal. This is the goal, right? This is what your heart wants. Your heart wants to accomplish the goal. You want to finish what you started. What you started last month or beyond with this builder energy, the Prince of Pentacles. You want to finish it. It might be time to go hermit mode so that you can finish it, right? So I think that this is, like I said, that completion. This is the universe or the world card. It's showing like, it's showing the bigger picture, or what you're trying to accomplish. This shows the goal. This shows the achievement. It's also a card of a delay, So it might be like you might be feeling as if you should have been there by now. I should have completed this task already. I should be done. I should already have built my universe. Why haven't I? Right? So the Hermit then comes into the picture and says, I need to take a step back and find out what my goal is and why I'm not there yet. Are there things in my life that are stealing my time, effort, energy, money, or space? Then I need to stop that so that I can double down on what is important to me, and I can finish my work. I can complete my magnum opus. Maybe this is one particular project you're on. Maybe this is your bigger life. Maybe this is your, you're trying to save enough money to retire, and you think, well, I should be there by now. Maybe this is one particular project or goal or something, an endeavor or an enterprise that you started last month. And this month you're realizing that like something's slowing down the progress. Something's either drawing my vitality and my energy away, making me feel weaker, or there's a need for me to step back and recharge. Either way, the Hermit's the way to go. It's taking that step back to look at the goal and look at your progress and find out, do you need to recharge the battery? And if so, it's kind of like you have, your phone. Sometimes you take your phone and you walk around with it all day and it's got like 100% charge at the end of the day. You're like, dang, this thing's good, right? Some days you'll have your phone and you'll get, halfway through the day and it's already dead. And it's like, what happened to the battery? Sometimes there's some app on there, right, that's like just sucking away your battery power, right? You got to find that app and you got to uninstall it. It's draining your battery, right? It's like when you leave your GPS on or something and your battery's like, just zero before lunchtime. The Hermit is taking that step back to find out what's been draining your battery. Because as your battery drains, we get less and less motivated. We feel less and less energy to accomplish the goal. It could be there are other people that are draining your battery. It could be, it could be a lot of different things. So I think that the Hermit is the very important energy this month because we need to find out, we need to reconnect with our goal, reconnect with what it is we're trying to accomplish, and either rest and recharge, figure out what might be, if anything, not saying there is, but there could be something draining some of that vitality. So we want to get rid of those. It's really just kind of an optimizing of your life this month, okay? At least in the sort of first part of October, Cancer. You should be optimizing your life. Uninstalling programs that don't need to be running anymore to free up some space, free up some battery power, and sort of just, and make sure that you have all the things that you want to have, the things that are important to you. Make sure you know what those are, and you double your efforts on the things that matter while getting rid of the things that don't. And that's what the Hermit really does. Because the Hermit puts on that cloak of invisibility and pops out of the world for a second, disappears, because they're optimizing. It's like when you're gonna format your phone, you're gonna wipe it clean, you're gonna reboot it. So it's like it's not there for a few minutes while it reboots. Then once it reboots, it's clean, it's refreshed, it's ready to go. Okay? So this might be a little bit of a timeout for you, Cancer, in order to optimize your resources, time, effort, energy, money, and space. Okay? Now, in last month's energy, you've got your Prince of Pentacles. It's very steady, reliable, shows up every day, does its work perfectly, very consistent, patient, staying the course. It's like it's the same every day. Okay? But now that we have that Nine of Wands here, it's making me think like, okay, something's different than it was last month. Like maybe the motivation that you had last month, now it's like something's wonky. The strength that you felt, the vitality that you had, the enthusiasm, the battery power, right? Something's different now. And so you know something's going on. It's like my phone. It used to last me from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. Now I can't even make it till lunch. Something's going on. Okay? Because it's not the same as it was last month. So something is different now. And the Hermit has to go and figure that out. The Hermit has to investigate what it is that is causing that problem, right? Because the Nine of Wands is a strength multiplier. So it's kind of saying that like when you're really connected and you're really in the zone with what you're doing, you're really in that flow state, then your energy is going to multiply. You're going to feel more and more power. It's like, somehow I ended the day with more battery than when I started. How would that happen, you know? And it's a silly example, I know, but I'm trying to convey what these energies are really saying. That in an ideal world, we'll end the day and yeah, we'll be tired. We'll be exhausted, but we'll have some kind of a supercharge in us still. It's almost like you got to force yourself to stop and go to bed because you're just so eager. You're so connected. You love your work. You're in that zone. You're in that flow. You're feeling that vitality. Something's taken that from you a little bit now. It feels like, okay? So the energy from, this is kind of what we're trying to get back to, I think. Just that steady, consistent work, okay? Now, for some of you, this is going to be your career. For some of you, this is going to be your art projects. Some of this is going to be your YouTube channel, or it's going to be maybe a relationship. This might even be your physical health, okay? We're doing that self-check-in to find out, like, where's my stamina? Why is my battery not lasting as long as it used to? Okay. Up above the surface, what's on your mind is that divine timing. That wheel of fortune is really saying that, I mean, on the path of the dove here, it's really obvious. Really, really obvious, right? It's a cycle. And the wheel of fortune is a cycle card. So it's kind of like saying, yeah, we're going through these cycles of charging and discharging our battery. And what do they say about your batteries on your phone? They say, don't ever let them go down to zero. Every time it goes down to zero and then it goes to 100, you're diminishing the battery cells, the whatever chemicals or magical little doohickeys inside batteries that make them work. I don't know what it is. Lithium ion stuff. Every time you drain it to zero and then recharge it to 100, you're deteriorating the battery. So every battery cycle is making it operate worse and worse and worse and worse, imperceptibly, until you start to notice it, of course, right? And so I kind of feel that, you know, this month for you, Cancer, in October is a month to find out if we've been burning the candle at both ends, so to speak. If we've been pushing ourselves to absolute, utter exhaustion and then trying to boost ourselves up really quick. I'll get 5-6 hours of sleep every night and boom, we're doing it again tomorrow. Because maybe that was working for you last month. You didn't notice the deterioration last month, but this month it's kind of like, ooh, I notice it. Okay? Every cycle we go through of intensity, maxing yourself out and then being totally drained and having to build yourself back up again real quick. Fast charging, whatever, you know, MagSafe, I don't know. And then doing it again. That's not sustainable. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune is saying, hey, it's time. You gotta pay attention. You gotta trust in that Wheel of Fortune. Changes, cycles are important. The ups and downs, right, are very important. Yeah. And I think that what you've got to do is understand that this is the universe's way of saying you need to optimize. You need to check in with yourself, because going from 0 to 100 to 0 again and again and again is not going to work anymore. What do they say? You want to keep your device around 70, 80%. Right now, I got a Mac that I use to process the videos, and it won't charge past 80%. I keep it plugged in all day, all night, 80%. And I feel like that's going to make it last a long time, longer than it would if I just let it go all the way down to 0. So it works that way for us too, I feel like, and at least that's what the message seems to be here. The Wheel of Fortune saying that you need to optimize your life right now. And I think this is the card that's on your mind. So I think that you're consciously aware that you need to optimize things because the intensity that you've been putting yourself through is not sustainable anymore, okay? And at the same time, what's on your mind is also growth, expansion. I want to get better. I want to do more. You want to expand your business or expand your life or your world or your channel or whatever it might be for you. Okay? So I think a lot of you are in that sort of almost conflicted, where it's, I want to accomplish my goals, and I want to make more goals. You want to expand your life, broaden your horizons. You want to earn more money. You want to make more accomplishments, have more success. But you also realize that you're not going to be able to do that the way things are running now. The pattern or the cycle that you're on is not going to be sustainable. Okay? So what we have to do is find a way to adapt in a way, in such a way that it's going to keep us consistent. It's going to allow us to pursue these goals for the long term. And I feel like the universe is giving you a symbol or a sign or some sort of synchronicity. Something is occurring in your life that is letting you know that it's time to optimize. It's time to hermit mode and figure out a different system. And maybe that is the 5 of Pentacles. Worry, stress, and strain. Okay? Anxiety, feeling blocked. This might be an instability. This might be the feeling that things are starting to come apart at the seams. This is the position of sort of towards the end of the month. Okay? And I think that what these cards are conveying is that if you pay attention to the signs now, even if they may be subtle, you're going to prevent a kind of a deeper or more problematic dysfunction later. If you continue on the path you're on now, this way horizontally, let's say without the hermit, without the connection to the major arcana, right? If we take those away, then you're going to consistently do the same kind of energy power cycles that you've been doing, but it's going to lead to breakdown. It's going to lead to dysfunction, even injury, right? So this is somebody, let's say you're exercising. Well, this is not a good way to keep exercising, because this is saying you're burning the candle at both ends. You're going 110%, VO2 max or whatever they call it every day. Well, you're going to hurt yourself. You can't push yourself that hard for that long, repetitively. Okay? And I watched a podcast recently of somebody that was saying, like, for those that are like fitness oriented, those are like exercisers and stuff, like bodybuilders or whatever, athletes, I guess. They did a test where, they took people who would go as hard as they could, 110% effort, like 2 or 3 times a week. Okay? Or even more, right? And then they took somebody that just did like 70, 80% effort, but every day, consistently every day. And guess who had more positive results? Not the person that tried to be so intense, but the person that was just consistent at a more moderate and reasonable level. We don't always have to go max, right? And that's kind of our 10 of Wands over here, is that maximum effort. We don't always have to go that intense. Because I feel that without the time out of the hermit, this is breakdown by the end of the month. There's no more money by the end. Maybe this is about your finances. There's no more money by the end of the month. There's no more energy. There's no more stamina. Whatever this 9 of Wands resource is, instead of building it up, it's being diminished. So something needs to change here, and that's part of our Wheel of Fortune too, that the card of change, yeah? A change for the better. Yeah, because you want to accomplish your goals, and you're going to. The hermit needs to optimize the process in a way. So the 5 of Pentacles, don't panic. You're going to use your hermit energy to figure out how to optimize your resources, or your time, effort, energy, money, and space, so that you don't inevitably have to deal with this kind of a difficulty. Okay, and then even the Art or Temperance card on this side, the Path of the Serpent. This is a card of moderation, first of all, right? Temperance, right? Taking all things in moderation, taking the middle road, And so this seems to be a good month for that. Not pushing yourself too hard, not doing too much, not doing too little, about balance, the alchemy, the art of life, finding a new art, a new strategy of how you're doing this. Patience, moderation, finding harmony. Not extremes, but finding harmony. Yeah, I think this is right on the money. For you, Cancer, I think October is going to be a good month for slowing down a little bit. At least, initially taking a time out to figure out a new plan, just real quick. And that plan should be one of moderation, temperance, grace, making it an art form rather than just a brute force. There's got to be some elegance to it, and not just harsh, brutalism. Yeah, elegance. So patience and moderation and balancing your energies. The balance between running and resting. The balance between wanting to go 110% and just keeping ourselves, I'm gonna stop when I get to about 70 or 80%. Then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna relax. Knowing that you're gonna make more progress and get to your goals faster doing it that way. The impulse, right? The instinct, let's say, is to run as fast as you can, as often as you can. It seems counterintuitive that says, no, slower is better. Really? Anyway, in your relationships, 10 of Wands, it may feel for some of you that you're forced to kind of do more because somebody in your life isn't doing enough. Okay, this card in this position, the 10 of Wands, could also be saying that you're sort of seeing other people and you're seeing how much power or stamina or how they're maxing themselves out. And then you kind of feel like that's what you're supposed to do too. But you don't know when that person's going to burn out either. They will at some point, right? Maybe they're just on a different level than you. And what you see as them maxing themselves out is really only their 80%. But for you, it'd be your 110%. The point is, it doesn't serve you to compare yourself to other people because you don't know where they're at, what level they're at, or if they're even doing the right things. Okay? So I think, for some of you, I think that this is really, you're taking on too heavy a load. And I think that this month is a good month, Cancer, in October, to lighten that load. You don't need to carry all of it. You don't need to go 110% all the time. I'm not saying slow down to a stop. I'm saying find the right balance, find a way to optimize your energy. And this is the card of the environment and your relationship to other people. Okay, it may be really advising you to share the load. Lighten the load by asking someone else over here who's not doing anything, ask them to carry it. The point being that the cards, Cancer, are telling you can't do everything yourself. You have to either delegate, hire somebody, outsource it, or do it later, or push it off till tomorrow. Okay? And it may feel like you're slacking. May feel like I'm leaving all this work on the table, all this, all this productivity that could be done. I need to do it today, right? No, focus on the priorities. Focus on what is really important and not on any of that extraneous stuff that is just weighing you down. Okay, you have this tremendous work ethic, but I think it's going to be detrimental to you if you try to continue it too long. I think this card is perfect for the position of your relationships and your environment. Now, your hope or your fear, 8 of Cups, walking away, letting go of things. Yeah, I think that it's definitely a week, a month. And I look at it as like this is the first 10 days, the middle 10 days, and the last 10 days of the week. I feel like kind of in this Hermit sort of, deacon of the month, it's important that you identify things that are no longer serving you and you release those things. You let go. Okay? So take some time this month at some point sooner rather than later, to step back, to go do that hermit mode. Now, what does the Eight of Pentacles show you on the Rider-Waite deck? It shows you a stack of 8 cups and the hermit's walking away from them. So the hermit, exactly what's going on here. The hermit is identifying those things this month, Cancer, that are not serving your needs, that are extra burdens, emotionally, physically, financially, whatever. Time, effort, energy, money, or space. Those things that are draining away your resources and letting them go. These are empty cups that you don't need to be holding on to anymore. Okay. Because I feel that, like, even releasing a couple of things, obligations, burdens, baggage, just releasing a couple of things is going to make your life feel so much lighter and so much easier. This is in the position of your fear. Okay, it's in the position of your hope also, right? Hope and fear. I think that the fear is that, we might release something that we actually really wanted. We might walk away from something that we really do care about, and that kind of sucks. We can't hold on to everything, though. So the hope, really, I think the hope is that it'll fix things. The hope is that if I can walk away from some things and lighten my load, that I'll feel better. The hope is that it will work. The hope is that it will prevent this Five of Pentacles from truly manifesting as the dysfunction that it could represent. Okay. Now, the Five of Pentacles, to me, in my interpretation, I feel like it's also kind of showing that a breakthrough is very close. That the Five of Pentacles is about to break open and reveal all of the gold, all of the jackpot behind it, right? Massive success is on its way to you, but it feels like you won't be strong enough to break the rest of these pentacles down and clear the doorway. Okay, I feel like this is a card that really wants to become a doorway. Yeah. And then your final card, Destiny card, Saturn in Libra. This is a Three of Swords, sorrow, heartbreak, disappointment. Okay. To me, this is also releasing a lot of guilt. Yeah. That is, difficult realizations, but it's also like a path toward healing. So I think for some of you, what you've really, in the bigger picture, this is like the destiny. This is like your long-term future. I think what you might be realizing is that you have a tendency over the long term to kind of hold on to things that are long gone. To hold on to beliefs, values, heartbreaks, emotions, relationships, memories that have passed a long, long time ago. To me, this is a card of memory. This is the card of complexes that get formed and kind of add, like it's like these are the programs in your phone that are running that you don't even know are there. It's like what do they call it? Spyware type of stuff, right? That's what this is. These are those programs that are running in our consciousness, our subconscious, subroutines, right? That we're not consciously aware of, and they're not. You're playing the bedazzled or the bejeweled game or whatever. Meanwhile, you didn't know that this thing's also stealing your battery. It's got your GPS running 24/7, right? It's draining your power. And so I think the bigger picture here, or the long-term kind of path for you, is the realization of how these things get installed into your system to begin with, and how you can be more aware of that so they don't happen again. Okay, belief systems, values, a sense of, obligation to things or commitment to things that really you shouldn't have to commit yourself to. Things that we might allow into our life that are going to demand so much of us, but we don't even know why they're there. Programs that we've installed, we have no intention of ever using them. Programs that other people have installed. Our parents, for instance, install some of these programs. They're complexes, psychological complexes, and they take a lot of energy. They make life a lot more difficult. And we can't necessarily uninstall them, but once we see them, they stop running. So all we really have to do is look at them. Once you notice that they're running, and I think in your case, because that either that sense of enthusiasm is waning, or your commitment or your resolve or your willpower seems like it's being diminished, or your vitality, your energy is low. It's because something else is zapping that energy from you. And I think once we recognize it, we can let it go. It'll still be there, but it doesn't have to be running all the time. Once we face the truth, right, we can kind of release that energy, and it's able to really come back to us, and we're able to apply it where it needs to go and reach our goals. Okay? And so this is turned into a very serious message. But I think for a lot of you, there is this kind of hanging on to things. Sometimes the Three of Swords is us reliving painful memories again and again and again. And they're maybe playing out in relationships, playing out in other things we're doing, playing out everywhere in our lives. We don't realize that there's an easier way. Okay, let's look at our mystery card anyhow. I feel like this is going to be progress. I think this is going to be a doorway. It's going to be an Eon card, a Moon card, Chariot. Might be a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. Or 6 of Pentacles. Let's see. A lot of choices there. 3 of Cups. Perfect. Joy. Celebration. Being grateful for the people we have in our lives. This is a gratitude. This is an appreciation. It's friendship. Celebration. Okay? So I feel like the way forward is to, one, give yourself some kindness. Show kindness to some other people in your life too. It may be very useful for you to spend some time this month sharing happiness with other people. Your close friends and family members, your loved ones, right? Keeping them close. Yeah, as you're walking away from things that don't serve you, and you're pointing your finger at the complexes, it's important to then have the support system or have the loved ones around that you can be with, that can help to strengthen you. Okay, this is you plugging your phone into the right power source. Yeah, getting recharged by love and friendship and intimacy and, social bonds and family bonds and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think this is also foreshadowing a very big win for you. I think that it's indicating that, life is going to get very, very good. Yeah. And there is a celebration coming for you. And this is the card of guidance and sort of spiritual message for alignment. And it really is to cherish the people that are close. Let go of things that don't serve you, but hold tight to the things that do. Recommit yourself to the people that matter, to the things that matter, the things that bring you joy, the things that make you feel stronger and more powerful. Hold tight to the things that recharge you, while letting go of the things that zap your energy away. All right? Now, we're going to head over to the extended reading, Cancer. I hope you will join me. I love you, and we're all in this together.